What are NSFW fun facts about you? I have recurring pilonidal cysts, a condition that affects 0.03% of the population. Literally a pain in the ass. 2 of my friends in college had these. They blamed their really hairy asses. I have one. My ass is not hairy, but I have a pretty deep top crack. Almost opposite of a toe. My doc made it seem way more common. My first kiss was with a boy I had been dating for a month. He was so nervous he threw up on me and literally ran out of the movies crying. Hello there. Wendy Tester Badger. I'm looking up the reference now. Under all my clothes. I'm naked. Slut. Wench. Exclamation mark. I had a hematoma after a vasectomy. My ballsack got so swollen and bruised that my dick looked like it was sitting on a coconut. One day I was taking a shower and the hole from the vasectomy burst open and clotted blood was all over the shower floor. I had a period out of my ballsack. And I'm going to bed. I'm so glad I clicked. See more to see your comment. Exactly my reaction. My Crohn's disease required that I have 5 surgeries last year. In those surgeries they gave me extra bum holes which they kept open with string. Those bum holes leaked and I had to wear women's sanitary pads for months. I have one remaining surgery next month which will hopefully leave me with one bum hole. So if someone threatens you by saying I'm going to tear you a new one, you can say that the surgeons already have multiple times. I'm Lord of the Rings. I always sneeze when I get horny. My partner is like this and I think it's adorable and hilarious and delicious. Okay, so story time. When I was younger I was in the mood. At the time I didn't have toys, so I had to improvise. So I used a back scrubber. Well, it had a string attached to it. After I was done and took it out, the string was gone. I spent 10 minutes trying to get it out. Finally gave up and went to my mom, who burst out laughing and drove me to the hospital. Of course I get a male doctor that removed it. As we were leaving, mom called me Scrubby Wubby and informed me it was my aunt's birthday. So every year on my aunt's birthday she says, "Hi Scrubby Wubby. TL. Doctor, had to have a string removed from my vagina. Are you from Scotland? Your mom sounds like she enjoys taking the piss out of you." I can play Beethoven's Piano Sonata No. 29 in B flat major opus 106 with my penis. Do you find yourself going a bit flat towards the end? I'm sure he could just leave it in a minor. Started getting laser hair removal treatment and my pussy is looking amazing. Congrats. Is it painful? Depends on your pain tolerance. But it's like a hot rubber band flicking you in quick succession with each flash. I got a pukey blowjob and got a UTI so bad that green pus leaked out of my cock like artificial wasabi. I was negative for any standard. And it got so bad that I had to get an antiseptic that turned my piss ocean blue. It was that. And Fireball whiskey one random weekend that cured it. If it got any worse, I would have had to get a camera shoved up my dick hole. What the duck? Opstick was one color away from being an episode of Art Attack. Occasionally, if the mood strikes me, I have been known to jerk it. You slut. I bet you're naked under your clothes too. My shirt's touching my nipples at this very moment. When I delivered my child, a med student, young male about 20, I was 21. He looked down there, smiled, then told me I had a nice vagina. After just eating a child at full velocity so fast my kid tore it slightly. I have a scar now. I just laughed, said thanks, passed out. Oh my gosh. I think you mean oh my gosh. Over the past several years I have been running the occasional classes in a church community hall for sex workers. Services range from naked massage to some serious ducked up shit on improving their fitness, massage skills, UK business / tax / medical advice, self-defense, language skills, CV / resume and job hunting, and any other queries they might have. It started off as a joke, but regularly somewhere between 7 to 15 turn up. Please explain more. I'm apparently aroused by lies that virgins tell in /r/AskReddit threads about NSFW fun facts. How did you manage to get that username with a 1-year-old account? It seems like every name gets taken. I think I'm average/small, but my current GF loves it and calls me big! ! Question mark. Exclamation mark. Question mark. Exclamation mark. Best feeling ever. Nothing better than a confidence boost. At one point, my rectum could accommodate an object 3 inches thick and 9 inches long. Currently out of practice. You know you could just change up your diet if your poops are that big. My boobs are extremely lopsided, like one can fit in my palm and the other requires both hands. You can't tell when I'm wearing bra and shirt though. My sister was the same way. I'm a girl. I grew up with her. We are less than 2 years apart. Shared a room for a few years when growing up. Went swimming together. etc. And my point is I never noticed. No one did until it bothered her in college and she told our parents and they paid for corrective surgery for her. After that we found out a close friend also had the same situation and hers was extreme. She wore a fake boob on her A-cup side and again no one could tell. She did not want to get surgery. Her boyfriend loves her just the way she is. As he should, because hell we all have bodily discrepancies. Sometimes, I wear ANSI A4 cut resistant gloves when handling a knife instead of A5. And don't tell my boss this, but once they go home, sometimes I don't wear gloves at all. I know it not safe for working, but you gotta live a little sometimes. Yeah no? Holy shit. You're living life in the fullest. I'm just over here vibing with my finger dexterity. My third girlfriend took a running leap onto my dock and broke it. I heard a crack, screamed, and blacked out. When I woke up I was being dragged to the car to go to the hospital. Edit. The long-term results are that my dick has a slight bend that is otherwise unnoticeable. We did separate a few months later, but that was because of a private matter that will not be elaborated on out of respect for her. We are still friends and meet at the bar on Saturdays. My third girlfriend took a running leap onto my dock and broke it. How did you explain that to the harbor master? I once took a 10 to 12 inch, about as thick as a beer can, dick up my ass just to prove I could do it. Felt very good. Damn. Who challenged you? Me. I sneeze every time I think of masturbating. Achoo. If I'm masturbating and I'm extremely turned on and I edge myself slowly and then go all out right at the end, I can nearly black out with how good it feels sometimes. My vision goes blurry and I can't move for like a minute afterwards. You're dehydrated. Noted. I always have the constant urge to sit on a guy's lap. IDKY but the feeling won't go away. Ho ho ho. Ha ha ha. I teach English, suit, tie, professor bag, Mr. Roger sweaters. When I get home, I live completely naked. I'm covered in tattoos and have my dick pierced. On a scale of 1 to 10 how painful was the piercing? I have a skeleton inside me. Oh my god. That's terrifying. They asked for fun facts you bony monster. Go drink some milk or something. I only cut my hair to keep it out of the wet spot. If you put your hair into a ponytail or a bun it won't get into your eyes so much. That's what you meant, right? I read that as a ponytail. A man can produce 1,500 sperm cells every second. Can you overclock that? I bet you can squeeze out at least 1750 with the right cooler. Yeah, you just need the latest dick enhancer software. I beat off aggressively in a Wendy's to AskReddit threads. Sir, this is a Wendy's. That's why I'm here. I have been armpit deep in a variety of pussies. Horse pussies, cow pussies, pig pussies, alpaca pussies. I should probably clarify that I'm a veterinarian. Can my asshole be next? Had sex on ecstasy once. It was something. Had sex with a supposed lesbian college friend after a night out of bar hopping. Surprisingly, whiskey dick did not affect me. Attempted sex inside of Mini Cooper. Do not recommend. Might be a dumb question. But what's whiskey dick? Dick no finish. My wife and I have NSFW Reddit profiles where we share our genitals and talk people through jerking off. It's really ramped up our sex life onto another level. Edit, spelling/grammar. Wholesome, good for you guys. Thanks. I think you meant wholesome. That's a little innuendo there. Dunno what fact I could really contribute, except to say that I accidentally fingered one of my best friends whilst playing water polo once. I liked it, though we never spoke of it again. Oh, and I'm a sucker for a cute/handsome face. Like to the extent that it could well send me slip-and sliding down the hallway some days. Does that count? Elaborate? Lol. How does that accidentally happen? Was there any dialogue during the whole encounter? I was not circumcised, but tore my foreskin back while having sex in a lake. Tore the frenulum all the way back. I can now choose to have the skin back like I'm circumcised, or bring it over the head. That sounds horrifying but kinda cool. It was horrifying when it happened, and until it healed. Good thing there wasn't sharks in that lake. Lol, now it's great. All the benefits of not being circumcised, such as increased sensitivity with the better look of being circumcised. Win-win. I went to my niece's parent-teacher conference and ended up doing the dirty with her teacher on her desk. Legend. I have an ex that is a somewhat famous singer. Not super famous, but if I said her name, I'm sure there'd be one or two of you that would have heard of her. Anyway, her first album after we broke up was 100% about me, a la Taylor Swift style. What you won't catch is that it is chock full of graphic sexual references that only her and I know. Chockful. Chockful. Not chalk. Maybe that's one of the references? Like he put a whole load of chalk up his bum for, you know, reasons. I tend to orgasm fairly quickly, but I also have an incredibly short refractory period, like a minute or less. I was once with a woman who was similarly gifted, and we had sex for literally 3 days straight, with just breaks for food, water, sleep, and shower. We both almost lost our jobs actually while we were seeing each other because we were going at it like rabbits all the time. It was unhealthy. Doesn't seem like you regret it though. No. I'm glad I did it, but I'm glad I cut it off after a while. I was not in a very stable place at that time in my life and I needed to put effort into things other than sex. Wish I had a girl like that. Now I'm doing okay. My dick is 3% of my body height. My height is not known by many. Bruh, I just did the calculation and mine is also 3%. OMG, you're identical dick to full body ratio twin. I've been to probably 8 or 9 rub and tug massage parlors in the past. Kicked the habit, but it was quite the experience. Thank you for this, Mr. AmItheAsshole. I often stand on the step that says not a step on the stepladder. Sometimes I need to be hugged. Say it how it is, brother. I don't always wear my high-vis vest. Lunatic. I was born without functional testicles. In the simplest terms, they are made of the wrong type of tissue. They look normal from the outside, maybe a bit smaller than average, but the texture is different. I need to take medications because my hormones are off, and I can come, but there's no sperm in it. But otherwise they haven't caused any major issues. Also, I was born with my foreskin partially fused to my urethral opening and had to get circumcised at 3 years old. This was in a country where circumcision was not the norm. I was so intrigued by this that I decided to show it off to my nursery class at show and tell. I just discovered a few months back that I can squirt multiple times. Yeah, that's cool and all, but what's the range? Can you hit gnarly sniper shots with your ingrown super soaker? I buy sex toys for random people on the internet. Tell me more. It started a long time ago and has developed into a fetish of mine. I have bought toys for probably 20 or more people over the years. Have bought people anything from dildos, lingerie, etc. I can deep throat and I never neglect the balls. I also like hardcore BDSM. Teach me your secrets. I can't get past about 4 inches if I'm at even the best of angles. Real talk, it's just practice. Learning to relax your throat. Also making sure your head is tilted up, otherwise you're hitting the back of your throat. One way to practice is to take a large firm banana, round of the end opposite of stem, The little thing at the end could hurt if you don't cut it off. Don't peel the banana because unpeeled is closer to the real girth. Not as sturdy, and peeled is small enough you might accidentally swallow it. Then just use that. You can also put a condom on it if you want. Hope you can one day live up to your username. I McMurray have a 15-inch penis. You're officially average. But how did you measure wrong in the first place? I can come at exactly 69 seconds. Nice. I am more turned on by half-naked photos than porn. Sometimes I climb the shelves to get the stuff on the top shelf because the ladder is a pain in the ass to get through the doorway. Scares the shit out of my boss. But luckily I'm damn good at climbing weird shit. I had frequent threesomes with 2 bisexual female friends of mine in a long-term relationship. I'm married now, but we are still close friends. Also I can come 3+ times in a row without needing a break in between. After leaving a sexless marriage, I made up for lost time 3, but having a lot of hookups. I would take long lunches and pretend to have doctor's appointments just to be able to have sex 2 to 3 times a day with different people. After 4 months my boss sat me down and asked me if everything was okay because with all those appointments, he was sure I must have been diagnosed with something terrible. Diagnosed with a daily deep dickening disorder. DDDD is one hell of a disorder. I can tell when a guy is horny by their breath. Also when someone breathes in my ear I get instantly aroused. It sucks because I'll be at work and someone whispers something innocently and I get turned on. Whispers your balls are showing. Apostrophe. I like dressing up like a whore and ducking my partner in the car before we would go into church. I bet he makes sure you all attend services religiously. Before the pandemic /now it's just not the same Sundays lol. One time I orgasmed 58 times in an hour. I love anal slightly more than vaginal. IAmA switch. 58 times? Wow. How did you do it? It was mostly powered by thoughts as I was extremely mentally stimulated. Since I was having a mutual masturbation session virtually with the guy I'm seeing, I mostly used my hands throughout it. My bed was ruined after all. I get a Shrek-sized hard-on when I see Reddit mods. They're one-of-a-kind sexy boys. Also my fiance recently told me she is very much into coqueening. She basically gets turned on by me being with other women. Or me making her watch me be with other women. I'm 20 years old and have been having threesomes exclusively with couples since I was 18. All my friends think I'm a virgin and don't know how to talk to girls. But I'm a full-on lifestyle enthusiast. I fell in love. I know. Sick right? When I shower, I don't wear any clothes. I have hooked up with a girl from every continent except Antarctica yet and made out with guys from 3/6 continents. Well, that's a life achievement. This one time I rolled my sleeves up exposing my forearms. An Amish person just felt a disturbance in the force. When I have to pee really bad I get horny so sometimes I purposely don't go to the bathroom. Probably shouldn't do that. It can cause incontinence. I made eye contact with that girl from Starbucks. I have a huge collection of League of Legends lookalike porn pics. Show me that drive. Mundo. Fun fact, I once stuck a pencil in my ass. Don't ask how. PS it was a very regretful accident. I wonder f***ing why. I do too. I was a mommy dom for a few months about 3 years ago. Almost stuck to it as a career, but then some crazy unforeseen circumstances came up. Wild stuff. While I advise against it for normal folks, plug and play / drug induced seduction is a big plus for me. Without trying to sound cool on the internet, I take performance enhancing drugs to last longer / get turned on easier. Which, being a 20-year guy it's not really hard to turn me on, but that's another story. With stuff in my system I typically masturbate for several hours at a time. Upwards of 3 to 4 hours. I wish I was joking. I once went through a Rule 34 site mindlessly typing characters' names in, going through every available page, and going through every conceivable character I can find attraction to. I wish it helped that much with the actual act of sex. With stuff in my system I usually get maybe a 15 to 20 minute boost on top of a normal 15 to 20 minute endurance. I've got a few stories of drug sex that was pretty fun. But that's if anyone decides they want to lend me their ear to listen. Like, what kind of drugs? And let's hear those stories, dude. Stimulants. Mainly. I don't like downers. So as shameful as it is to admit it, amphetamine is a favorite. Ecstasy and Molly is fun and all, but it's harder to find in my area. Coke's too expensive to reliably use with people, lol. Usually throw in some bud for other folks. It's pretty fun to use stuff during sex in my experience. Use whatever, but it's just my taste to use stims. As for stories, one of the first times I went on a big bender for Speed A Buddy, and I had gotten a lot of product for very cheap, and went several weeks just getting spun out and rolling. I'm a diabetic, so I get needles for free, but I don't shoot up. Cause I already don't like sticking myself for diabetes, lol. Had a few girls over and decided it'd be a fun idea to dispense a few booty bumps of ice. So we got these lovely ladies to bend over and lose their clothes, spread their holes open, and gave them a decent sized booty bump. For those unenlightened, you get the mixture ready to shoot up, load a shot, then break the needle tip off and insert said needle into the booty hole. Gets you higher than a pig in shit, lol. Anyways, we each administer a lady her booty bump, give them a bit of time and they start rolling hard. Then we had a pretty uncomfortable orgy of 4 people, lol. In no particular order, I've had sex with a dwarf. She was number 7 out of 29. Some of you are like so what, others are like wow what a hoe. I've done a hat trick, all 3 holes, in a longer session with literally the best FWB I've ever had. I've had sex against a high-rise window, and I've had one MFM threesome. If I tickle a certain spot at the tip of my flaccid penis I will pee, whether I need to or not. I've used it a few times to preemptively pee when going places. I had a hernia and a loop of my intestine slip down into my ballsack, making it look like I had 3 testicles. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.